RMIT have the budget for nice stuff in here. Seriously, it's embarrassing. Hello, welcome to the first episode of Between Two Ferns. I'm your host, Emilia Lakhi, and with me today is the best recruiter in advertising, Brown Phil, Sound Girl Phone, Sally Phone Bill. Welcome, Sally.
Close. My name is not Phone Bill.
Right,
It's
yeah.
Brown Bill.
Brown Bill.
Yep.
Brown
Okay,
Bill.
good.
I'll
Sally
remember that
Brown
from
Bill.
now on.
Okay.
You're right. I will
Thanks for having me.
do my best.
I think
Okay. So can you tell us about your journey from photography to creative consulting?
Oh, how long have you got?
Oh, it depends.
Yeah, I'd love to. I trained here at RMIT as a photographer. Worked in the industry where I learned a little bit more about photography and a lot about life. I think the whole creative industry is definitely about learning about life's journey. I left assisting and went overseas and worked in film and television and West End theatre. Came back, I had this epiphany that I didn't want to take photos for a living anymore because I didn't want to, take photos of other people's ideas.
Right.
I produced photography, worked in design studios, did new business, and then many years later sort of decided that there was this massive network and everyone just kept ringing me and asking me, do you know somebody that can do this or do you know somebody that can do that?
Yep.
And I thought, here's a business. So
Right.
I started the Brown Bill Effect.
That sounds fascinating.
Yep.
You released a new book this year, How to Develop Your Career as a Photographer. If the book is for all creatives, why is the title not How to Develop Your Career as a Creative?
I think that's a really good question and probably one that I can't answer, actually. When I wrote it, it was specifically about photography because I felt that photography was where I had come from, and I'd been doing a lot of lecturing in photography just prior to COVID. And when COVID struck, I spoke to a friend of mine who's a writer, and I said, I'm thinking of writing a book and I've got all of this material, what do you think? And so together we sat down and it sort of just flowed on from the work that I'd been doing with the photography magazines. But it's not about how to take a picture, right? It's about the creative industry. So
I definitely got that vibe. Yeah.
You got that vibe?
Yeah, I got that vibe.
So there's a lot going on in it, and people from many walks of the creative industry have been reading it and looking at it and saying, you don't need to be a photographer, I'm a jewellery maker, or I'm a designer, or I'm a fashion designer.
Very inspirational. The first chapter says a source of inspiration is being uncomfortable. Is this interview going to be a source of inspiration for you?
Is this interview going to be a source of inspiration? Well, it's kind of different, but I find inspiration in everything.
Right, yeah.
Emily? Oh, sorry. It's Emilia, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
no,
sorry.
no,
Emily?
you're right. No, it's Emily. It's good. It's good.
It is?
No,
Oh, sorry.
it's Emilia.
Yeah, look, I guess this can be inspirational.
Yeah. How do students find their source of inspiration?
I think it's all around them. Inspiration comes from connections, but it doesn't have to necessarily come from advertising. It can come from film or movies, or it can come from being down at the ocean, or it can come from, working or being in a beautiful building. So I think everybody's inspiration is their own personal journey.
Of course.
But as long as you're constantly inspired.
Yeah.
But I tend to think that when I've been working with people, you are inspired by others.
Yes, right. Okay, well, I'm yet to find that, but